All right, cover page. We had Mads.
Oh yeah,
You know, we had
yeah.
Caesar. He had like an artificial devil fruit, smile devil fruit.
Hmm.
I assume we had Judge with the weapons, and then we had Queen with the what's
It's like his bio
yeah, like
weapons,
the
like his
bio
Yeah.
weapons.
necklaces.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
thinking
all
of
their
fumes and stuff.
specialties.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
pretty
So
much. So
I might have a, I might have something for the cover page,
what do
and
you
it's
have?
some,
Here.
it's something that Joy Boy, Blumph, you and I, we all talked a few months ago about when we get to head ahead, and we saw three numbers, which we said it could either be charging. There was number 66, 72, and 11, and we also said it could
Yes.
be projects. And I think those were the three projects to make, like the clones. 66 is Jerma, and maybe the two other 11 and 72 is their project. And that's what it took them to, because I think it's a foreshadowing to the
Oh,
reveal of Stussy, or the end of the chapter. I think those are the
you're
three projects.
Cube.
The three specialty.
You're talking about the numbers on the
Yeah, I'm trying to
lava
see what
fish,
numbers you're
right?
talking about.
On the outside, when you look at the egghead from outside and you see all the different stuff, there were
Yes.
number 66 at one area, 11 and 72. And we talked about it
That
a few
Are
months
you
ago.
talking about that number that kept
nice.
changing on the egg? Cause
Yeah, I thought that was like
I,
a danger counter
I
almost,
think
like because it went to 100 recently, and I thought
yeah.
they're at
Well,
100% danger. But
well,
that's an
no.
interesting take
I,
on that.
I think it's more of a defensive thing, like how fortified Egghead is because notice when CP0 came and started doing stuff and they pretty much like tightened security, right? Like maximize security.
Yeah.
That was when it was at 100. It was at 100 when they maximized. And I think when I think it was shown when somebody turned off the security, it went to 0 or something. I could be wrong about that. I had to look again.
It's just the discussion I remember clearly is that at one point in the chapter, like in the same chapter, they showed a different area. The numbers were 11, and we made that we talk about like the defensive or the charging, but we also said hypothesis maybe it's like the three projects because the number 66 was the Germa 66, so we said maybe that's a project with a raid suit. So I'm wondering if those are the three. This is what you need to do to create like a successful pacifista or clone. There's three
Oh,
expertise. You especially need like what Caesar
Oh,
does,
so
what
hold on.
Judge does. Those three.
So you saying them three together
Yeah.
created. Nah, I agree. I kind
like
of thought
like
that as well. I thought pretty much what Vegapunk did was master everything that them
Hmm.
three like cuz think about it. He I do we attribute clones to Judge or do we attribute clones to Vegapunk? Like,
I
I'm curious. How are we attribute
I
cuz
attribute Stussy
huh?
so far.
No, I'm talking about out of the actual doctors, the scientists. Like, do we
Well, yeah.
attribute the study of clones? Do we attribute that to Vegapunk, or we attribute that to Judge? Because
Yeah.
I always attributed to Judge because he was really the first person we see do clones
Yeah.
in the story, right? So, and
But
Caesar was the
is
first
he the
person we see with
one?
the artificial,
But yeah. But
and
now the stuff is based off the
and
mads.
Queen.
It changes everything.
That's what I'm thinking too. Is it's not this clone Stussy, it's Bakken, I guess, the original. If she
Yeah.
proves to be on, that fifth member of MADS, I've seen a lot of people petitioning that it's Kareha lately, though. I don't know if you guys
Uh.
have seen anything about that.
So teasing the Romanized version of Bakin's name, it writes just like Buckingham.
It's
Bucking.
Bakken, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Bukin. So yeah, this is most likely her.
But I had a question because I don't want to go deep into that because that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, I know.
going into a different topic. It I kind of got the feeling right when we seen the Mads cover story. We only seen like the three scientists that kind of went like bad, I guess. Like they kind of went, they
Hmm.
kind of broke off, did their own thing, but more for
Exactly.
selfish reasons. So I was thinking, like, did Mads have different ambitions, right? Like, were they all on the same page? Like that. That's my question. Were they all on the same page? Because it seemed like Caesar, Judge, and Queen were all pretty much doing something that might not have been in line with what Vegapunk wanted. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
cause like if you look at the cover page, it looked like they're being a little sneaky about it, right? It looked like they're just
Yeah, they
kind of.
don't have Vegapunk there with them. They don't have, Stussy or the fifth member. I agree. It's kind of interesting too, going off of your clone comment. What I meant was, yeah, that original Stussy being the fifth Mads. I see this cover page as showing like Caesar's specialty, Queen's. So my mind jumps to Stussy's specialty being the cloning. Caesar paired up with Vegapunk. They kind of did their world government stuff. Is that kind of inferring, or are we to infer that Judge and Stussy teamed up to some degree? That's kind of where my mind runs to, at least.
I don't think I don't think Stussy was actual scientist. I think she was just created.
So like something we were talking about in the stream chat was that maybe after the fall of the Rocks Pirates, because I'm pretty sure God's Valley happened before Mads was formed, right?
The God Valley incident happened before MADS was disbanded.
Right.
We don't know when it was formed, MADS. We don't know when they were formed. That's why. Yeah. Sorry.
But Mads was still going around like after God's Valley, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
my kind of a theory that we made in the chat was that scientist that was turning around the woman was Miss Buckingham, and that she went to Mads to seek asylum after God's Valley.
Mm.
Yeah,
So she could be the one.
Y'all really kind of going into something I want to not talk about now with the cover page, but.
Well, you were talking about the cloning stuff, so.
Nah,
because that's who
Mikey was talking about the cloning stuff. I wasn't talking about the cloning. I was just talking about the ambition.
You asked the question, so.
Yeah, but I didn't ask a question about cloning. I asked about the Mad's ambition. Like, were they on the same page?
Well, I was still going back to the question that you said earlier about who would you attribute the cloning to. You said Judge or.
Well, that's because I was I was saying who I attribute to, like, who is responsible, like out of because we know Caesar works on artificial devil fruits. That was kind of like his brainchild, right? Like it seemed like like Caesar's brainchild was artificial devil fruits. Queen's brainchild is
engineer
bio weapons,
like
right?
Yeah.
Queen and I'm saying was Judge's brainchild the clones? Because we know,
and then he adopted it later.
Because we know that he was cloning. He kind of, I don't know if he perfected it, but he was doing cloning in Whole Cake Island. So I'm saying, like,
I think
my point to say all that was, did Vegapunk pretty much master each of their specialties? Because we know Vegapunk perfected devil fruits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He perfected it over Caesar. Caesar didn't perfect it, even though that was Caesar's brainchild.
Maybe that
could we say that? Hold
solution.
Mikey, hold on, Mikey. Will we say the same thing for Queen or Judge? I mean, but I don't know if Judge was the one, if cloning was his brainchild, because it seemed like in this cover page his brainchild was actual weapons. You know what I mean?
What if Judge is more genetics? So he did the clone, because in One Piece cloning is just cloning, and there's also this far lineage factor.
Yeah.
But what if Judge, the part of cloning, was all about the genetics?
No, and you might be right with that, Cube. That's kind of that's more so what I'm going along with. Like, he was more of the geneticist. Caesar might have been
what he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and his kids is a perfect example. He literally changed the genetic of their kids while they were being, while his wife was pregnant.
But yeah,
That's a good
but
point.
that was kind of my thing with the cover page. It just seemed they was acting a little sus, right? The three of them was acting a little suspect. So